Bill Roscoe and John Postle have collectively dedicated over 8 decades to the mining industry, where their integrity and professionalism were the touchstone of their careers. They both helped forge new standards for reporting and valuation of resources while operating a world-renowned consulting company.
RPA became the go-to engineering firm because of their high standards. They continued to raise these standards whenever they saw the opportunity.
Bill is very upright. He wants to do the right thing. And I suspect that infiltrated the culture of the company, doing it right and doing it proper.
They both really developed, I would say, a firm of specialists, mining engineers and geologists that have an international reputation for the preparation and auditing of mineral resources and mineral reserves.
Bill and John both come from mining backgrounds, with either parents or grandparents in the industry. Bill was born in Hancock, Michigan, and John in Kirkland Lake, Ontario. They first crossed paths working in New Brunswick.
Yeah, Bill and I met at the Wedge Mine in New Brunswick, and shared an interest in geology and interested in rocks and an interest in mineral economics. And we got to become very good friends.
Their paths diverged, but they reconnected in the 1980s, both working at David S. Robertson and Associates. During lunches, they would dream about starting their own company. It became a reality in 1985.
We really had no vision. I mean, we just said we hope we can make a living. The roles were wherever the need was, I guess.
Bill took on business development, while John flourished in a more administrative role.
Bill has a very, very articulate background. His writing skills are just unbelievable. And as a result, we sort of ended up, Bill did most of the writing and I did most of the reading afterwards.
He was better at the day-to-day administration, getting our invoices out and that, important things like that.
As the company grew, their philosophy was to hire the best.
We tended to hire people who had experience, people who've been out in the working world for 10 or 20 or 30 years.
Typically, if RPA was on a report, there was a lot of credibility given to that report. And in fact, when I looked at a project or my colleagues were looking at a project and we saw RPA, we felt very comfortable in terms of the due diligence, etc.
It was a company built on strong values, where employees felt they were part of a family that stuck together during tough times.
Our industry is very, very cyclical, and John and Bill never let employees go. They always would not take either a salary themselves at that time, and in the long term, they were able to keep a lot of really good people.
At its peak, RPA had about 60 employees managing projects from multiple offices. They became known as the gold standard for technical reporting. Bill credits John for developing independent engineering business with chartered banks that were financing projects.
We would be retained to follow up and do maybe quarterly site visits and write little reports, make sure they're on time and on budget and that type of thing, or if there are any issues.
Bill and John's volunteer contributions also had a significant and enduring impact. Both led committees for CIM, developing standards for the industry.
Bill and John have spent their life leading the development of mining technical standards in Canada. As a result, Canada is not only recognized as a mining leader, but also as a leader in the development of global standards.
If it wasn't for John, the CIM would not have taken active role as it is now in all of these standards. So John played a very important role.
In late 2000, the standards were adopted, and National Instrument 43101 became the reporting standard for the industry. Bill's contribution was in standards for valuation.
I work with Bill as co-chair and co-founder of the Canadian Mining Valuation Standards. And these standards are now globally recognized.
That led to Bill's support developing international standards, working on a committee to which he still contributes. Bill and John have been awarded many accolades for their contribution to the industry, both receiving fellowships, Distinguished Lecturer, and Robert Elver Awards from CIM.
Well, I have to say one thing, okay? If you want to get yourself a good partner, look for Bill Roscoe.
I can say the same thing, I think, John. I think we had a good partnership, and I think it's
Yep.
kind of worked out from starting out with the two of us in a borrowed office and space, and the way things progressed from there, I think was kind of beyond our wildest expectations.
I think so.
As they grew their company, careers, and families, their friendship flourished, bonding over hobbies like sailing, at which Bill is an accomplished racer. In 2019, SLR, an international consulting company, acquired RPA, but Bill and John's values live on in the company. Their expertise and dedication redefine mining consulting and standards development, shaping the industry for generations to come.